Brought to you by WikiVidi documentaries. Daniel Sturridge. Andre Sturridge is an English professional footballer who plays for West Bromwich Albion, on loan from fellow Premier League club Liverpool, and the English national team. He plays as a striker, but he has also been used as a winger on occasion. Born in Birmingham, Sturridge spent 4 years in the Aston Villa academy before moving to Coventry City. He then signed for Manchester City in 2003. He continued his development at City and played in 2 FA Youth Cup finals. He made his first team debut in the 2007-08 season, becoming the only player ever to score in the FA Youth Cup, FA Cup and Premier League in the same season. He left City in 2009 and signed for Chelsea, where he was loaned out to Bolton Wanderers for the second half of the 2010-11 season. After a successful spell at Bolton, scoring 8 goals in 12 appearances, he returned to Chelsea for the 2011-12 season. He left Chelsea to join Liverpool in January 2013, where he formed the so-called SAS attacking partnership with Luis Suarez, with Liverpool scoring more than 100 league goals in the 2013-14 season, with Sturridge scoring 21, the pair of them having a 1-2 in the goal-scoring stats of the league. The following 2 seasons were curtailed by a myriad of injuries, limiting Sturridge to very few appearances. Sturridge has represented England at all levels. He made 15 appearances and scored 4 goals for the under-21 team. He made his debut for England against Sweden on the 15th of November 2011 and was selected for the 2012 Summer Olympics and the 2014 FIFA World Cup. Youth career. Born in Birmingham, West Midlands, Sturridge began his playing career at the age of 6 at local club Cadbury Athletic, before being spotted at the age of 7 by the youth academy of Aston Villa. He left Villa 4 years later to move to Coventry City, from where he joined Manchester City's academy in 2003, aged 13. A Football League committee later ordered Manchester City to pay Coventry £30,000 compensation, with further payments up to a maximum of £200,000 based upon appearances and international honours. The following year, he was the leading scorer and voted Player of the Season as City won the Nike Cup, the world's largest under-15 tournament. At 16, he played for Manchester City Youth during their 2006 FA Youth Cup run. The youngest player in the team, he scored 4 goals en route to the final, and another 2 in the final, though they were insufficient to prevent a 3-2 aggregate defeat to Liverpool. That summer, he signed his first professional contract, which came into effect when he turned 17. Manchester City. From the start of the 2006-07 season, Sturridge began to train with the City first team. A hat-trick in a reserve match was rewarded by a place on the substitutes bench for the senior team's match with Reading in February 2007. He duly made his debut from the bench, replacing Georgios Samaras for the final quarter hour. He made a second substitute appearance a month later, but then suffered a hip injury which sidelined him for the remainder of 2007. Sturridge scored his first goal for City on the 27th of January 2008 in an FA Cup match against Sheffield United, followed 3 days later by his first league goal on his full debut against Derby County. However, first-team opportunities were sporadic, so Sturridge continued to play for the youth team in the FA Youth Cup. City again reached the final, with Sturridge the leading scorer in the competition. This time City won the final, with Sturridge scoring in the first leg. In the 2007-08 season, Sturridge became the only player ever to score in the Youth FA Cup, the FA Cup, and the Premier League in the same season. Sturridge contributed in the 2008-09 season with 26 appearances and scoring 4 goals. On the 28th of December 2008, in a league match against Blackburn Rovers, City was trailing it by 2-0. Coming on as a 71st minute substitute, Sturridge scored in the 88th minute of the match, taking advantage of a header by Andre Sturridge. He also went on to assist Robinho's injury-time goal. Manager Mark Hughes said that Sturridge was a player with great potential and had an impact in the Ghana. He also praised his assist, saying, "He picked out Robinho for the equaliser in an area where we had been struggling to find him." At the end of the season, he was voted as the club's Young Player of the Year. Chelsea. With Sturridge's contract at Manchester City expired, he signed for Chelsea on a 4-year contract on 3 July 2009. As Sturridge was under the age of 24, and the two clubs were unable to agree a deal, the fee for Sturridge was decided by a tribunal. The Professional Football Compensation Committee decided on 14 January 2010 that Chelsea would pay an initial fee of £3.5 million, with additional payments of £500,000 after each of 10, 20, 30 and 40 appearances. There would also be a further payment of £1 million if Sturridge made a full international appearance, and Manchester City in addition would receive 15% of any sell-on fee if Sturridge was transferred. After these add-ons, the fee for the player reached an eventual fee of £8.3 million. 2009-10 season. Sturridge made his Premier League debut for Chelsea on 18 August 2009 against Sunderland, coming on for Didier Drogba. On 16 September, Sturridge scored a hat-trick in a reserve match against Ipswich Town. On 28 October, he made his first start for the club in a League Cup win against Bolton Wanderers at Stamford Bridge. On 20 December, Sturridge came on as a substitute at half-time against West Ham United and won Chelsea a controversial penalty that Lampard converted. He made his first start in the Premier League for Chelsea away against Birmingham City on Boxing Day and scored his first 2 goals for Chelsea against Watford in the FA Cup third round on 3 January 2010. Sturridge continued to show his ability with the Real Poachers' effort in a 2-0 victory in the FA Cup against Preston North End, scoring his 3rd goal for Chelsea in January. On 13 February, he netted again against Cardiff City, as Chelsea won 4-1. Sturridge scored his first league goal for Chelsea on 25 April 2010, in a 7-0 victory over Stoke City at Stamford Bridge, by latching onto a through ball, before rounding goalkeeper Asmir Begovic and slotting the ball home. During the 2010 FA Cup final, he came on as a 90th-minute substitute for Chelsea as they won 1-0 against Portsmouth. Sturridge finished the 2009-10 FA Cup campaign as the leading scorer for Chelsea with 4 goals. 2010-11 season. On 15 September 2010, Sturridge made his full UEFA Champions League debut against Slovakian team MSK Žilina. He scored on his debut, his first Champions League tally, in a 4-1 away victory. In the Premier League, in a 1-0 loss to his former club Manchester City, Sturridge came on as a substitute for striker Didier Drogba. He scored his 2nd goal in the Champions League against Žilina, which Chelsea went on to win 2-1 at home. Later that season, he scored 2 right-footed goals against Ipswich Town. Loaned to Bolton Wanderers on 31 January 2011, Sturridge agreed to join Bolton Wanderers on a loan deal until the end of the season. He made his debut 2 days later, coming on as a substitute at home to Wolverhampton Wanderers, scoring his first goal in the process, an injury-time winner. He followed this with another goal in the defeat to Tottenham Hotspur the following weekend, in which he made his first start, before scoring his 3rd goal in 3 matches in the 2-0 victory over Everton. After Sturridge scored the equaliser against Newcastle United in his 4th match, he became only the 6th player to score in his first 4 matches for a club in the Premier League. Sturridge continued to make an impact at Bolton and finished his loan spell with 8 goals in 12 appearances at the club. Having never been booked in his career, Sturridge received his first ever red card in the final match of the season against former club Manchester City. 2011-12 season. Having received a red card in his final match for Bolton, Sturridge was suspended for the first 3 competitive matches in the 2011-12 season for Chelsea. Despite rumours linking him with a move away on deadline day, Sturridge remained in West London amidst strong support from his manager Andre Villas-Boas, who said he would have been playing if he was not suspended from last season. In his first match back from suspension at Sunderland, Sturridge started and scored with a back heel in the 50th minute to put Chelsea up 2-0 in an eventual 2-1 victory. Sturridge returned to the Reebok Stadium on 2 October 2011, scoring twice within the first 30 minutes, the first a header after 90 seconds from a corner and the second a long shot from outside the box that goalkeeper Adam Bogdan erred in saving. Sturridge also provided an assist to Frank Lampard's goal in the 15th minute of the match, which eventually ended 5-1. On the 15th of October 2011, Sturridge scored against Everton in a 3-1 win, giving him 4 league goals in 4 matches. He then came on as a substitute in a League Cup match against Everton on the 90th minute, in which he scored a 116th minute winner, which saw Chelsea win 2-1 in extra time to put them in the last 8. Sturridge scored his 7th goal in the Premier League season in a 3-0 victory for Chelsea against Newcastle on the 13th of December. During the fixture against Sturridge's former club Manchester City at Stamford Bridge, Sturridge provided an assist for a Raul Meireles goal in the 34th minute. The match ended a 2-1 victory, when Frank Lampard scored a late penalty after Joleon Lescott handled Sturridge's shot in the penalty area. Sturridge scored in the away 1-1 draw against Wigan Athletic. He controlled Ashley Cole's diagonal long ball with his left foot, then scored with his right from a tight angle to give Chelsea the lead in the 59th minute. On the 22nd of December, during Chelsea's away clash with Tottenham, he scored his 9th goal in the 2011-12 domestic season, the equaliser in a 1-1 draw away at White Hart Lane. Sturridge scored his team's first goal in a 4-2 win against Aston Villa. He scored the opener in fantastic style after 45 seconds, with his 11th Premier League goal of the season against local rivals Queen's Park Rangers on the 29th of April, which Chelsea ran out 6-1 winners to keep Champions League qualification alive. He was an unused substitute as Chelsea won the 2012 UEFA Champions League final. 2012-13 season. Sturridge missed all of Chelsea's pre-season matches to begin the 2012-13 campaign, as he was on duty with Great Britain in the 2012 Summer Olympics. He did, however, play against Manchester City in the 2012 FA Community Shield, assisting Ryan Bertrand's goal by shooting and Costel Pantolimon spilling it. Sturridge missed the first 2012-13 UEFA Champions League group stage matches against Juventus and Nordsjælland, and the first League Cup match against Wolverhampton. He also missed the Premier League match against Stoke City with a hamstring injury. He scored the last Premier League goal for the club in the 4-2 win against Tottenham at White Hart Lane after coming on as a late substitute and scoring from Juan Mata's cross in stoppage time to seal victory. His last goal for Chelsea was against Manchester United in the League Cup, scoring in extra time in the 5-4 win. After Blues manager Roberto Di Matteo was sacked as manager and replaced by Rafael Benitez, Sturridge was never to play for the club again due to injury. 2012-13 season. On the 2nd of January 2013, Sturridge completed a move from Chelsea to Liverpool, signing a long-term contract for an undisclosed fee thought to be in the region of £12 million. He made his debut on the 6th of January against Mansfield Town in the FA Cup third round, scoring his first Liverpool goal after just 7 minutes in a match which Liverpool won 2-1. He scored on his league debut after coming on as a half-time substitute the following weekend, scoring in a 2-1 defeat against rivals and league leaders Manchester United at Old Trafford on the 13th of January. Sturridge scored his 3rd goal for Liverpool in his first league start and home debut for the club, a 5-0 win against Norwich City at Anfield on the 19th of January. With a goal, he had scored 3 goals in his first 3 appearances for the club, becoming the first Liverpool player since Ray Kennedy in 1974 to accomplish the feat, despite not yet playing a full 90 minutes for the club. On the 3rd of February, Sturridge scored a goal from 25 yards out against former club Manchester City in a 2-2 draw at the City of Manchester Stadium. Sturridge continued this run of form on the 17th of February, with an assist for teammate Jose Enrique, as well as scoring a penalty against Swansea City in a 5-0 win, having missed the prior 2 matches due to a combination of ineligibility and injury. He also scored against former club Chelsea in a 2-2 draw at Anfield, the match of teammate Luis Suarez's bite incident with Blues defender Branislav Ivanovic, which led to a 10-match ban for Suarez. Sturridge scored 2 goals and notched an assist in a 6-0 win over Newcastle United on the 27th of April at St James's Park. On the 12th of May, he scored his first career hat-trick in a 3-1 win against Fulham at Craven Cottage. 2013-14 season. Sturridge began the 2013-14 season by scoring the first goal of the season, which also turned out to be the only goal in Liverpool's 1-0 win over Stoke City with a shot from outside the box. He then followed this up with a goal against Aston Villa in another 1-0 win and a brace against Notts County in the League Cup, taking his season's tally to 4 goals in 3 matches. He continued his fine form by scoring the only goal in a 1-0 win against fierce rivals and defending champions Manchester United on his 24th birthday at Anfield, and giving a man-of-the-match performance in a 3-1 win away at Sunderland by scoring and providing 2 assists for Luis Suarez. These performances earned Sturridge the season's first Premier League Player of the Month award for the month of August. On the 23rd of November, he came off the bench to score a last-minute equaliser against Everton in a thrilling Merseyside derby that finished 3-3. Sturridge's impressive goal-scoring form continued into the new year, with Sturridge becoming the first Liverpool player in the Premier League era to score in 7 consecutive league matches when he found the net at Craven Cottage against Fulham. He went on to become only the second player in Premier League history to score 8 matches in a row after a brace against Swansea City in a 4-3 home win. He was then named Player of the Month for the second time in the season for February, scoring 5 goals and earned 2 assists during the month. On the 18th of April, Sturridge was named as one of the 6 players on the shortlist for the PFA Players Player of the Year award and was also nominated for the PFA Young Player of the Year award. On the 27th of April, he was named alongside teammates Steven Gerrard and Luis Suarez in the PFA Team of the Year. Sturridge's haul of 21 league goals made him the runner-up in the season's Premier League Golden Boot, behind strike partner Suarez. 2014-15 season. Sturridge started the 2014-15 season scoring a late winner in Liverpool's opening match, a 2-1 win over Southampton. While on international duty, Sturridge incurred a thigh injury and forced out of action for up to 3 weeks. On the 11th of September, manager Brendan Rodgers publicly criticised England's handling of Sturridge, stating his injury could have been preventable. Despite rumours, England manager Roy Hodgson rejected talk of a rift between him and Rodgers over Sturridge's injury. Sturridge was ruled out for another 3 more weeks after suffering another calf injury during training on the 17th of October. On the 18th of November, he broke down in training with a new thigh injury which saw him miss the next 6 weeks. After missing close to 5 months, Sturridge made his return to the team on the 31st of January in a 2-0 win over West Ham as a 68th minute substitute for Lazar Markovic, scoring in the 87th minute after a through ball from Philippe Coutinho. On the 4th of March, Sturridge scored the second goal in a 2-0 win over Burnley. Sturridge's injury-plagued season continued when he picked up a hip injury on the 22nd of March in a 2-1 loss to rivals Manchester United, despite scoring Liverpool's lone goal. On the 5th of May, he underwent a successful hip operation in the United States that ruled him out until September, meaning he would miss the start of the new season. 2015-16 season. After missing the first 5 matches of Liverpool's Premier League campaign due to injury, Sturridge made his first appearance of the season against Norwich City on the 20th of September 2015. He scored his first 2 goals of the season in a 3-2 victory against Aston Villa on the 26th of September. On the 15th of October, Sturridge suffered a knee injury in training that would rule him out another 4 weeks. On the 2nd of December, he scored a brace in and 6-1 away win over Southampton in the quarter-final of the League Cup. 4 days later, he suffered another hamstring injury in a 2-0 defeat to Newcastle United. That ruled him out for 2 months. He returned to the team on the 14th of February 2016, scoring in a 6-0 win over Aston Villa at Villa Park. 14 days later, he started in the 2016 League Cup final loss to Manchester City, playing the full 120 minutes as Liverpool were defeated in a penalty shootout. On the 10th of March 2016, he scored his first Europa League goal for Liverpool in a 2-0 win over rivals Manchester United at Anfield. He scored his 50th goal for Liverpool in all competitions on the 20th of April, In a 4-0 win at home in the Merseyside derby, he is the fourth fastest Liverpool player to reach that landmark, doing so in 87 appearances. On the 5th of May 2016, Sturridge scored his 12th goal of the season in Liverpool's 3-0 defeat of Villarreal in the Europa League semi-final second leg to qualify the team for the 2016 UEFA Europa League final. On the 19th of May, Sturridge scored the opening goal of the Europa League final, an eventual 3-1 loss to Sevilla in Basel. Sturridge ended the season as Liverpool's top scorer with 13 goals. Brought to you by WikiVidi documentaries. Would you like to know more?